It's too strong. But it's really beautiful to see the laser beams appears and it starts moving. I put some blue LEDs also inside these plastic jewelries. It rotates automatically and emits the laser beam next. Yes, like this. Thrown straight into the night sky, and sometimes you can see space station itself too.
How far out can you see it?
Nothing.
How far out can you see it?
If the night is enough dark, 500 meter, you can see the straights going into the night sky. Yeah. So these hacks are using Arduino itself, and I never made my own Arduino, but it's really interesting to make my own Arduino. For example, this is my hacks, another hacks. My first PCB, Arduino compatible board. I found a small aged rice maker. Rice is really important in Japanese culture because the salary was paid by rice. So this rice maker is very important. And I drilled 2 holes on the bottom and put some 2 Nixie tubes and connected it to Arduino. This is my first schematic I wrote using Eagle. So it's too complex, so I cannot root it. I just put the auto root button to wire it on hole. But it's really interesting when I get my own PCB from Bulgaria. After that, I always wondering to see study.
Where did you find your Nixie tubes?
Nixie tube can be bought in Japan from internet. It's not so expensive, about $10 and there's a behind of it there's a Russian logo, so it's so cool. It's made in Russia. Yeah, it's very beautiful, and I like.
Yeah, they're quite hard to get.
I found it's really interesting to make my own board, but this is a hobby. And now I'm making my own board and selling it to only in Japan now. This is a Google ADK board, so-called. ADK is officially published by Google maybe last year, 2 years before. But it's really easy. It is Arduino also itself. This is a large IC here is 80 mega 328. It's used on Arduino. And but it has another ones. This is a USB host ICs, and so you can connect almost any USB devices here. But especially Android is nice because Google released nice libraries for Arduino and for Android, so that they can communicate each other so easy. But it's really difficult if you want to make it about outsourcing. It costs too much. So
Did you bring any with you to sell?
Where on the I have an internet shop on the I'm selling it. No, there's no real shop selling it, but I make my own board by my hand.
Paper solder
stencils. Yeah, cutting using the cutting printer. It's like the usual printer, not so expensive, but it has a small cut knife instead of inks. So, and it's really easy to expose the cutting data from Eagle PCB CAD. Then I paste the solder paste using squeegee on the right. Yes. And I also cut some squares as a tray for my pick and place machine. So I have a pick and place machine. This is my house, and
oh my god!
Wow. Usual room, there's some strange things.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a nice pick and place machine. So I can make my own boards less than about 100 and 200. The production within my home.
You bought your own pick and place machine?
Yes, I have.
How much did it?
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, $10,000.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some problems about it. I told you before. Yes, I have to buy it. Yeah, so it's really easy to communicate between Android and Arduino. For example, it's really easy to move servos from Android app and can get the sensor values. For example, this is my own app using my own devices. Let me explain. The right one is an NFC card, subway card, and the right Android has an NFC sensor on its back. When touching it, we can pick up the ID of the NFC card and it's sent to another Android via internet. Then this Android can transfer both and emits the IR signal from here because there's IR LEDs. So I mean, I can control my home air condition in Tokyo from here by just touching the card. It's really simple. Yeah, for example, it can be done easily if you have no used Android. And now, talking about the PCR, the technology machine itself. This is not whole my original project. The original one is made by an American guy about 3 years before, but it's not so in production these days. So I inherited it's open source hardware, so I made similar ones, but I changed some points. For example, they use so small PC supply it cannot be get in Japan, so I changed it to more bigger so that the usual server supply and heatsink can be used. So if you have a broken PC, so you can get the parts from it. And there's some changes also into the board itself. For example, it killed Arduino firmware because they use the Arduino Air platform to use it, which has no, which cannot connect, which doesn't have a serial communication protocol. Yeah, so they've overridden the firmware from Arduino to something else to act as if it's USB master stages. So Arduino Air just read and write files. But I think it's not cool because the Arduino cannot be reused anymore. So I changed all the program from Arduino to Google packaged app, Google Apps. It's released in this summer. It's very new, but it can use serial communications and USB control, so it's really easy. And I could help Arduino firmwares. And another change is here. You can find the powerful motor driver IC is used to move the PLC here, but I think I changed it removable. I use the usual motor IC modules to stick here because after the experience itself is really important, but after the experience in Malaysia, for example, I want them to remove all these Arduino and motor driver IC for another purposes. For example, in Malaysia, cleaning waters and something else. It should be done by children. I hope it can be done for them. Yeah, and for the prices, you can find some thick parts, metal parts here. It's very expensive because they have to be drilled out. But I changed it more thin so that by just bending plate is enough to make it. Yeah, some changes have been done and it successfully works. But yes, this is a Seed Studios presentation for suggesting the collaboration. I need their help because, for example, this wooden laser-cutting board looks nice, but it takes too long time, about 30 minutes to cut all the board for one PCR. It's too expensive for human resources. So I want to change it to some plastic or metal plate things, and I need to change power supply into AC adapter usually used on the notebook PCs so that they can be reduced to this size, more smaller. And I don't want to use this kind of expensive heat sinks and use the cheapest ones. And yes, I need to make some difficult, this is most difficult metal parts, and I need to find some factory around same chain to make it more cheaper. Yeah, I still have some problems, but I'm solving it, and I think I can solve it more. Yeah, thank you very much. This is my introduction.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really glad to meet you. Good to hear.
Well, we're very glad that you stopped by.
Thank you very much.
Let me
Appreciate it.
Can somebody turn on the lights? I
Yes.
want to take a picture of this thing closer.
Give me outdoor. I'll do it. Oh, I'll do it. This is my old Arduino.
Oh, don't worry about
Oh,
it.
that's too black.
Oh, use a paper towel.
Yeah,
I get some paper.
too much.
Does anyone with that?
You can use another pen, right over it with another pen. It works.
That's what I said.
Solve and then try to use a solvent.
Really, it's true.
Equal project.
No, this one is too dirty. Oh, don't use this.
All erased.
Don't worry about